I believe I know why you're here, young man.
It has taken you far too long, old man. Hey, today it's a reaction to 1997 by Mook.
Welcome back to another album review / reaction here on the channel. This is a very, very special reaction for me and something that I have been putting off for months and months and months. And it's going to be hard for me to explain why I've been putting this off. I don't know if anybody will watch this. The last time I uploaded a MUCC video here on the channel was at the very end of 2023. It was actually the last reaction that I posted before finding out on January 10th of 2024 that I was diagnosed with leukemia. And then now I've gone through over a year and a half of battling that, and then finding out at the beginning of this year that I needed a transplant. So I had a bone marrow transplant, went through that entire process, was in the hospital from April 4th of this year to July 15th for over 100 days. I was in the hospital. It wasn't just staying in the hospital, like in a hospital bed. We stayed in the hospital for 21 days after the transplant and then moved to a hospital that is, a hotel that is attached to the hospital. So I was in the same building, a very big complex of buildings, many different buildings all connected together, for over 100 days while I was recovering, and then came home, and I'm still in the process of recovering today. I may have sort of a pinkish face over here around my eyes because I have been dealing with some skin issues around my eyes, and so I have to go pick up some new medication tomorrow and try that and help and see if it cures that or helps clear that up. But anyway, while I was in the hospital of this year, Mook's brand new album, 1997, was released. And I knew I wanted to record a reaction to this album for the channel here. For those of you who don't know, Mook is either my number 1 or number 2 favorite band right now at this point in my life. I fight with myself over whether Kaiser's Orchestra from Norway is my favorite band, and that's what I've been saying because I do truly believe that they're phenomenal. They've never released a bad song, never released a bad album. But I also absolutely love Mook. I have been saying earlier this year in our raunchy videos, I've been saying that Mook is my number 1 favorite metal band, and that's definitely true. And they are Japanese metal. For those of you joining us here on the channel who've never heard of Mook, I encourage you to watch this reaction, but I would recommend just skipping to when I start the music, because I'm going to be talking a little bit up front about the band, and then I have something very special that I'm going to be doing at the end of the video as well. But I would recommend you just watch the reaction part with the music and see how you feel about it yourself. And if you've never heard of this band and you start listening to watching the reaction, hearing the music, and you enjoy it, I would recommend stopping the reaction and go and listen to this album yourself. It is on Spotify. This band's entire history and catalog discography is not on Spotify. It's not even on YouTube. You can't find some of this band's music in the United States. However, this new album is, I have it pulled up, I'm ready to go, but I want to do a little bit of talking first. So I'm going to take this hat off, As of right now, I haven't filmed the intro for this video yet. However, I have some pretty lofty goals, so I don't know how it's going to turn out. But if the intro to the video offended anybody, I'm sorry, but tough. I have fun doing stuff like this on the channel, and I don't do it very often, but to me, Mook is a band that is special enough that I wanted to do something a little extra. Also, just a few days ago, I completed my 144-hour journey in Assassin's Creed Shadows. So now, no matter who you are, I've spent just as much time in feudal Japan as you have. But seriously, I really enjoyed this game, and I do want to do a review of the game here on the channel at some point in the coming weeks. I haven't figured out exactly how I want to do that because I haven't done a video game review before, but I have lots of footage of me playing it, so I'll insert some of that here. But I enjoyed the game. I've been immersed in whatever sort of alternative sort of Japanese history here. It doesn't matter. The Japanese part of this really isn't even super important to me. I think it's fun, and it's kind of fun to, have my samurai swords out and my, whatever, the hat, and to film the little sort of thing that I did for the intro. All that stuff is fun, but at the end of the day, Mook's music is just timeless and fantastic in every way possible. And I have several other reactions to them here on the channel. I mentioned the last one I uploaded to their album, Timeless, or Time Something Time. That was sort of a half brand new songs, half songs that they re-recorded from their earlier part of their catalog. And that was a great album. The production on it was really great. Their album from before that, from a few years before that, called New World, I thought was maybe their best produced and best sounding album, at least in the last set of 4 or 5 albums. And so I really enjoyed the way that album sounded, but it wasn't very heavy. That album was a bit more sort of tame compared to a lot of the music in their catalog that they've been making over the last 15 years or so, maybe even 20 years if we go back to 2000. So I enjoyed it. I have very high expectations for this, but I'm not going to let those expectations ruin anything about this album for me. I want to just sit back and enjoy and have fun. However, there's another reason I've been putting off recording this, and that is because for this entire year, and last year as well, I have had something that I have been able to keep to myself this entire time that has been very special to me. And when I say that this is something that did help me get through all the cancer stuff over the last year or so, because I think I discovered this back last fall, I'm not understating that. It is something that I very much look forward to. It is something that I just will sometimes sit and look at and be in awe that I have this. And I've hinted at it in several videos here on the channel. But let's see, I'm not even sure how to start this. Let me just say that, well, okay, let's do it this way. So again, if you don't want to hear any of this mumbo jumbo stuff up at the front of the video here, head to the reaction, and then I'll do my review at the end if you want to just skip to that. I appreciate anybody watching this video at all, and just know, very recently here on the channel, I have started a Ko-Fi account. Eventually, I want to have a Patreon account going in the coming weeks so that people can donate and contribute to the channel if they want to. Nobody ever feel obligated if you don't want to. But as of right now, I have a Ko-Fi account. You can click on the link. It'll be in the description, and you can donate any amount of money. I believe it's $1 is like the least amount, but I'm not even sure. It might even be a penny or something. But you can donate any amount from anywhere in the world, and you don't have to sign up or anything like that. You can, as far as I understand, I haven't used it myself yet or anything, and I haven't received a donation yet as of recording this. But click the link if that sounds like something that would be interesting to you. And I just know I appreciate it. And if not, again, don't worry about it. The whole reaction's here for you anyway. So this next section of the video, I want to be nice for everybody watching this. If you've got it playing and you're just walking around doing something, I'm going to do a tease here of what's this part of the video is going to be, but I am going to do this part at the end of the video. I'm going to record it all now and then put it at the end after the reaction because I want it to be sort of at the end of the video. If people want to watch it, they can, but I'm going to tease you and tell you what it is right now so that you watching this can kind of get an idea. So I think a good way to point this out is to say that Mook is a band that I've loved for many years, and over the years I've managed to get this stack of Mook CDs. And we'll just go through them real quick. Miyaku Haku, The End of the World, Shangri-La, Karma, Kayutai. This is stuff from Gokusai. My first album that I got from them, Shion. Their best of, their greatest hits, 6, Gokusai, and then Kuchiki no Tao, or Tao. Right, so I have these albums. This is what I was able to get and acquire over the years. Some of them are very expensive. Some of these CDs are some of the most expensive CDs I bought online. I think this one was probably $25 or something like that, which might not seem like a lot to a lot of people, but I have been very poor for very many years in a row, and I managed to live and sustain myself off of basically the less than the least amount of money that a person should be able to sustain themselves off of. So, before we skip to the end of the video with the rest of this part and then get into the music, I have to say, last year I discovered a website, and I couldn't believe it was true. My cousin Cody told me about it. I don't want to say what the website is, because if someone truly loves this band and they want to buy... Actually, you know what? Screw it. It doesn't matter. The website I found is called sarugaya.com. Maybe many of you have heard of it, but I discovered this website, and I realized that you could buy things. My cousin Cody, again, he told me about it, and he would buy like old video game, vintage video game pieces of equipment and games and things like that for very cheap, relatively speaking. And so I checked out the website, and the one thing that I wanted to look at, or the couple things, I guess, I wanted to look to see if I could find any cool Metal Gear stuff, which that stuff's all very expensive, so I've never bought any Metal Gear stuff there. I wanted to see if I could get any cool Godzilla stuff, which I have gotten a few cool Godzilla things. But the main thing I wanted to look up was, and I was very curious, do they have any MUCC CDs? So... this is it. This is the thing. This is the big reveal for me of something that I've been sort of hiding from everybody. I'm going to move the mic back here. Over the last year, this is the box of all of the MUCC stuff that I have ordered over the last year. I have the invoices here. And I'm going to go through all of this stuff and show it all at the end. But again, this is just a bit of a teaser here. So there you go. This is my box. The most important box that I probably own now, with all of the most important music paraphernalia in it that I own. And I am so lucky to have this. When I tell you that even one of these items to buy online in the United States is probably $40 to $50, depending on what it is. Something like this, probably $150 or so. This entire box, I would say, for less than $200, for sure, of every single thing in there. Almost every item that I got in that box was $4 and I think 40 cents. That's the minimum amount that Sarugaya sells things for. And if you order at specific times of the year, like right now I believe they have a sale going, it is free shipping. Now, I haven't ordered anything from them since this whole tariff thing started. So I cannot say definitively that it would be free shipping anymore. It probably does not. I don't know. I haven't looked up the United States' relationship with Japan or anything like that. And so I don't know what extra shipping would cost. But everything in that box, everything I just showed you was free shipping. And so if I paid $4.20 for a CD, I paid $4.40 for that CD. And you cannot go to any used CD store in the United States and buy any CD for less than $4.40. You can go to Goodwills and thrift stores and things and buy just, if they have like a random price for a CD, a generic price. But, so anyway, I don't want to waste too much more time. I want to get into the music. But right now, I'm going to record myself going through that box and just showing off all of the individual items. We're not going to open them. We're not going to look through everything. I'm just going to show off the items. If that's something that sounds interesting to you, there will be a section at the end of the video going through everything. This is very important things to me that, like I said, helped me get through my cancer. So if that sounds interesting and you want to see some of the absolute coolest things that I own, then head to the end of the video. If not, we're going to get right into the music now. Okay, everybody, I am back from going through that entire box. I really hope that some of you will stick around to the end and watch it. And yeah, it's amazing. So let's get into the music here. I have the album pulled up. I do know that there is a deluxe edition of this that comes with a Blu-ray. I haven't been able to afford that or anything, so I don't have that yet. And I don't know if I ever will be able to get it, but 16 songs. They all look pretty decent length. There's a couple over 5 minutes, but nothing over 5 minutes, 16 seconds. That's the longest one. So there's nothing too crazy. And the first 2 tracks are the same length, and they're right about 2 minutes. So after that, then everything is sort of normal length song. MUCC generally has lots of tracks, lots of great stuff. I have not heard a second of any of this yet. I do not know what the production sounds like. I don't know anything about it. I don't know what any of the names of most of these songs are. Some of them are in English on Spotify. So I'll tell you those when we get to them, but I don't really know. It looks like the song with the most plays is Invader, the 2025 remaster. Don't know. All right. This is track 1, Daydream, off of MUCC's album 1997, which came out this year in 2025 while I was in the hospital. Here we go. This is finally it. Are we still recording? Yes. Everything's working? Check. Daydream in 3, 2, 1. Piano, okay. Okay. I always enjoy MUCC's intro tracks to their albums. They're almost always instrumental, and they always kind of give you a little hint about what's kind of coming throughout the album, but they're always interesting themselves. A whole album of just their intros would be interesting to hear one after another. But I particularly remember their album from Kaiutai. I like that one. And yeah. And Karma. Ooh. I guess I'll say during the intro here, when we get into the music, I want the production to be good. There are several MUCC albums that I think there is severely lacking in high end, Aku being one of those. I don't need them to do anything different. At this point in their career, they've done basically every type of song that's imaginable. I just want this to be more MUCC, and I want it to sound good. Building it up. Maybe the track 2 being so short is maybe just crazy. All right, here we go. Track 2. Yes, high frequency. Keys. All right. They've done a lot of recording over the last few years. And I feel like their production's been getting better and better. Ooh, okay, a little ska-ish. Little trumpet in there. Very clear production, I love it. I'm hoping we get to a section of the album where they do like a little bit of a jazzy part or whatever. They do that on some of their albums. Or something in the middle of the album where it's just crazy different. Yep. Drums sound a little thin, the snare does. Yep, big chorus. Yeah. Ooh, is that Mia? I think Mia is the name of the background vocalist. Yeah, Mia. Or the guitar player, and he does some of the background vocals. Okay, interesting. A shorter feeling song. All right, going into track 3. Okay. Little electronic drum beat here at the beginning. I want some really heavy parts eventually. Yeah, the snare sounds a little far away. Okay. Nice. Nice. Harsh vocals. They don't use a lot of harsh vocals, but when they do, they're very impactful. Ooh. Yep. Yep. The kick sounds a little wooden. A little high frequency-ish. Let's go. Bass with the distortion on it. Almost like a synth bass, maybe doubled. Oh, I love that. Sticks on the rim. Very cool. Ooh, he's like rolling the sticks. Ooh. Very weird sounding drums there. Interesting guitar stuff. Oh. The kick is weird. The kick is weird. I gotta say that. Okay, going into track 4, Invader. This is the big one. This might sound quite a bit different. Whoa. Whoa. Piano. Let's go. Ooh. Kick sounds way better here. Well, maybe not. The vocals sound really close. Yeah. Yeah. Ooh, everything sounds so nice and clear. The space is really nice. They're using the space very well in the mix. Nice. That's a very complicated part. They've got piano and guitar in there. Bass too, popping off. A lot of high frequency in the bass, very clear. I love it when he uses that mid-range voice along with his the higher part, and then the low voice in there. Ooh. Bit of an abrupt change into the chorus there. Love the synths, love the piano. Wow. Let's go. Yep. Kind of reminding me of the solo from Killer, my all-time favorite MUCC song, one of my all-time favorite songs. His raw voice his screaming voice is so raw. Ooh. Ooh, there's that crazy synth thing. It's like encompassing, all encompassing. Oh yeah, get a little whoa-whoas in there. Why not? Let's go. Awesome. That was so great because it sounded like MUCC, but with just a little different. I mean, okay, Boys be a vicious. Boys be and vicious. Ooh, little drum and bass beat in there. Give me a super heavy song. We'll get it eventually. And there have been heavy parts too. And we don't need a whole super heavy song. Very rare that Mook does a whole song heavy. This is awesome. Okay, distorted vocals the whole time so far. Maybe the whole time. That could be Mia. This is weird. The bass is kind of missing it. There's no low frequencies in the middle there. There it is. Maybe it was just playing higher, I don't know. It's a small thing. It's not really a small thing, but I really like bands that have another member of the band, other than the lead vocalist, that can sing competently, that the band uses for background vocals. Sometimes all the vocals are just recorded away from the band, totally separately, by the vocalist and his production team. And so all the vocals on albums can be done by one person. And sometimes that can be really great. And Tatsuro is definitely doing lots of background vocals on this all too, but just the fact that Mia's there, I think it's Mia and maybe the bass player as well, or the drummer, can do more of the guys in the band can do background vocals too, but I believe most of it is Tatsuro lead vocals obviously, and then Mia. And I believe that Mia is a great backing vocalist, and I think that really helps them separate them from other bands, and any band that does that. I especially love like Modest Mouse, for example. They do that, and I love that. All right, we're going on to track 6, Guilty Man. Okay. There we go. Yep. I didn't care for that last one as much. That's a cool guitar part, very ominous sounding. Ooh, very high. Which he has sung very high before, especially on Shion. There's some crazy high notes on that album. Super high. This is feeling familiar, and I'm loving this. Builds it up and just blow me away. This sounds like something that could have been on Aku. Yep. Ooh. Oh yeah! It just keeps going. The background vocal tracks, like the gang vocal tracks, are interesting. Piano, I believe I heard in there too. Yeah. Yep. Ooh! Oh! Wiki Wiki, let's go! That might have been done on the guitar, but still, very cool. Are we gonna break down or just go back to the chorus? Yep, chorus. Yep. Got the timing right there. There might be acoustic guitar on the right. Yeah, I think so. It's dark. I won't be able to go exercise today. Get exercise down here. Let's go. We're listening to new Mook. Muke, I almost said Muke. Okay. B&W, which in the United States would mean black and white. B&W. Okay, I think those are guitars. Almost sounds very interesting pedal of guitar pedal of some kind. Fun one. Yep. If I could structure out a Mook album, I would do it just like this, pretty much. Or piano. Interesting delay there. Oh, by the way, I have not listened to Tatsuro's solo album from this year. I think there's only 8 tracks, maybe 7, called Monochrome. Have not listened to that yet. Big chorus. So clear. That's goofy. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Nope. Yeah, love it. That guitar. Weird. Love the delays. It sounds so good. I missed it.
Bye bye, honey.
Ooh, cool. Very cool. It's like a surf guitar tone. Ooh, totally dry. Chorus one more time? Probably not. I love the kind of randomized piano it sounds like almost. Into October. Now. Yeah. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Yep, strummed acoustic guitar. Ooh. Oh! I wonder if the songs that say remaster were from like anime or something, or something that they released as a single. This sounds awesome. It's like a Beatles alternating flute thing on this left there. Mellotron. Look at, oh. Yep. Oh. I think that's the bass in the middle. Oh. We need a good chorus here. He's using his slightly more nasally voice, which is a problem I have with a lot of Japanese metal. A lot of Japanese metal singers sing very nasally. Yep. Yeah, let's go. Oh, I love that. Let's go. I want a good long solo in this one. I also would like 3 choruses. They haven't been doing that as much, and that's fine. Yep. Love it. Yep. Okay, solo coming up probably. haven't done a lot of acoustic guitar strum stuff like this. I love it. It sounds great. Okay, not super long. Didn't need it to be longer than that. Maybe a big gang vocal part at the end here? All right, we got a minute. Don't fade the song out. They generally don't. Oh, yeah. Piano kind of doing the melody there. Love it. Yeah. Don't fade the song out, please. Oh, cool. Oh, they brought in the alternating Mellotron thing from the beginning. Let's go. Let's go. When you're a band, you can do whatever you want. Do it. Do what you want. Oh, so good. All right, track 9, Lipstick. We need a heavy one now. We wouldn't need it, but we could also... Right? Take off. Okay, shut up, Patrick, and enjoy it. Love the synth bass. Let's go. I mean, it sounds like Aha. Yes, love it. So tasty. What's the chorus gonna do? Some synths? Yep, pretty nice. Whoa, we're going through the 80s. Dude, if we got like 3 songs in the row that were like 80s, like they've done jazz in the past. But I don't want to get ahead of myself, you know. They a lot of the times on their albums, they have like 2 or 3 songs in the middle of the album that are totally different style. And what if like 80s was like the style they chose for this? They should have called the album 1987. I just flicked a bug off of my umbrella light that I have over here. Let's go. Keyboard player with them. Let's go. Oh man, I never would have guessed this. This is incredible. Man, Tetsuro's such a good singer. Whoa! They hitched it into mook gear there. Let's go. Definitely Aha inspired, 80s inspired. Bring back those synth toms. Very fun, very different. You know, after all this to get that, so awesome. Round and round. Now. Interesting. Okay. Listen to the bass go. Listen to the drums, listen to everything. Vocals a little loud, maybe. Let's see what they do. Yes? It's a little jazzy, a little funky. Piano, love it. I don't think the piano guy is still in their band that they had with them for a while, but they probably tour with them. I don't know. Keyboard player. I've watched some of their live stuff. It's just a trio, really. Or no, guitar, bass, drums, Tatsuro. It'd be nice if we got some harmonica, I guess. Been a while. Weird. Let's go. Whoa! That almost, his vocals there sounded a bit like Maximum the Hormone. Which, if we got a new album from them, the whole earth would explode. I don't know if we ever will get an album from them, though. I don't know. This song felt a little short. I mean, we could have done another chorus in there somewhere. I like the guitar solo and stuff, though. Next song, Triangle Shape. This is like Deep Purple. I love how it went kind of from being mono to stereo. Nice, big sounding. They're really playing around with stuff. This is awesome. Love the organ sounds. It's very different for them. Oh, no vocals. Whoa. It's AC/DC now? It's just so different, I love it. Vocals are a little loud. This is the first time I've ever heard him do like blues rock. I love it. I love it. It's like they're just try to see if you can do every type of music imaginable. Interesting, there's some nasty in there. I think it's the bass. There's an octave pedal or something on the bass. That was weird. This is strange. Wonder. Whoa. This is so weird. I know I've said that like 5 times, but this is a weird song. It's weird in a really interesting way that I'm so glad that they are trying this. Oop, that thing's back in the middle. It's definitely something in the bass. Ooh, was that a whistle? Or that could have been some feedback. Yep, big sounding. Wow, just... All right, track 12. Gosh, this is so awesome. This album's so long. This is a Japanese one. I don't know what any of this stuff. Okay, what are we gonna get now? Okay. Okay. A strummed acoustic guitar. This is the longest one, 5/16. Interesting. Harmony guitar. Harmonized part. Ooh. Interesting. Cool piano. No guitar. Oh, I love that synth. I don't know what this is supposed to be. Just a cool song, I guess. It doesn't have to be anything. Oh! Let's go! The reverb on the drums is interesting. This is kind of 90s, I guess. Yeah. Yeah. Love it. I really, really, really love it so much. Double length chorus, second time. Yep. Then we'll get a guitar solo. The vocals are real smooth in this song. Really nice. Vocal harmony is great. Let's go. Tambourine. Yep, harmonized. Nice. Then are we gonna break the song down for a little bit? Oh, chimes. Oh, acoustic guitar lick. Let's go. Oh, the background vocals are so good here. Rim shots. Or hitting the rim, not rim shot, I guess. Key change. I should have guessed that. Yeah. Itching it up just a little bit. Still so smooth. Let's go, more gang vocally. Again, yes. This could be the last track. Yeah. I was afraid they'd fade it out. It's okay. It's mook. It is what it is. They do it so not very often. There's never any good excuse to fade a song out. It's lazy songwriting every time. It's terrible, but it's mook. I'll forgive it. That was one of the best songs on the album. Okay. Back to the organ. Tambourine's still in there. We haven't had anything heavy for many songs. Ooh, hi-hat. Interesting hi-hat rhythm. Let's go. Okay. Nice.
番線そんな待ってる時間はない有刺鉄線を越えてさ飛び出そう
Organ really cool.
咲いて散ってまた咲く星を
Bass doing a lot here.
明日の明日が昨日で終わってたかも本当はきっと簡単で幸せだったのに微笑むことさえ嫌になって全部格差とになってしまった世界なら愛も夢もきっと食べられて消えてゆくそっと忘れておくれこんな世界からこぼれ落ちてく真っ白な今日
Alright. Getting lots of good solos the second half of the album. Nice. We're getting a chorus a third time here, which is really nice. This song could fade out again. I really don't want them to. I wish they would never do that, but yeah, shifting it up into the high. Okay, track 14. This is the last sort of longer one. This is 4.5, 4:38. Okay. Okay, interesting. Ooh. Weird. Huh. Crazy effects on the vocals. Drums really dry. Piano now. Very weird. Okay. Very washy. Love that. Wow. Weird. Oh, spacey, trippy. Dude, the reverb effects on this are crazy. The delay stuff, too. The whole album has got some funky stuff on it. And when I say funky, I don't mean funky like funky music. I mean like very weird, very interesting. Okay, now we're Nirvana. Nirvana with weird piano chords underneath it. Yeah. I'm so happy they went back to this part again. You have to be so confident in your notes you're hitting there so that it's not delaying and repeating these bad notes. Strummed acoustic guitar, I think. Not my favorite song, but interestingly different and weird. Okay. The penultimate track. This is a 2025 remaster, so this might be more of a singly one. And then I just have to say, the final track is called Daydream Believer. I don't know if it's a cover or not. Ooh. Love the synth in there. Strummed acoustic guitar in the middle. Nice. More solo, let's go. Ooh. Interesting. It seems like they just like jamming, kind of the older they get, I guess. Ooh, distortion there on the toms and everything.
ちりとかすまで日が暮れるまで君にひざまずいた愛の虜さ
Nice. Okay, last track. Is it a cover of Daydream Believer and a Homecoming Queen? Probably not.
Akari この人生に嫌気がさしてきたんだろうそんなに悪いことじゃない夢ばかり見ていたはずさ、まだ始まってないことに気づいてない思い出せない真っ赤なくなってほしい今すぐに僕が目を閉じることをさ始めよう
Let's go. Okay. It's not a cover, and I'm almost happy about that. I mean, I am happy about that. Big gang vocals. New World ended with a lot of gang vocals. Sorry, I was looking for New World in that box. I can't find it, but I'm sure it's in there somewhere. Goodbye. It sounds so good. The vocals across the whole album. Yep. Nice. Okay, so that is 1997 by MUCC, and I am very happy. That was not bad, not disappointing. It was not exactly what I wanted it to be. Sorry, that was a lot of intensity. Not intense music, though. So I guess that's the first thing I'll say. I am, I guess, slightly disappointed that this album kind of is following what I haven't listened to New World in quite a while. And I kind of haven't actually even been listening to MUCC that much this year because I've been waiting to listen to this. I do think that Aku and Miyaku Haku are two of my favorite albums of theirs, and those are heavier albums. I think Aku, I wish it was mixed a little bit better. It's lacking a lot of high end. And I know on Spotify, they released a different mix of it, Aku plus 2 that was remastered by Mia. And I wish I could find a copy of that somewhere online. They didn't make physical copies of that. So I don't know if I can ever, if I'll ever be able to have like a lossless quality of that album. I don't know if anyone knows of a place I can find that online. Let me know. But I really enjoy those two albums because they're heavy stuff sprinkled throughout the whole album. And Kayutai is maybe my other favorite album of theirs. I do like all of their albums that I've heard. Some of their earlier stuff is a little bit not exactly to my taste, and I find it a little bit boring, but I haven't really focused on those albums as much to pull out all the stuff I would like from it. But New World was really good production, and then they did less heaviness on the album, across the album as a whole. And I feel like they did that here as well. There was a lot of experimentation, a lot. The final track, I don't know if I would have chosen that to be the final track. I think I would have made track, I think it was track 13 or track 14 as or maybe even track 11, that belongs in the middle of the album. But track 14, I think, was the one that was with the crazy reverb effects, and there were not very many vocals in it, but the chorus was sort of like an ah thing where he was doing the like, ah type of thing in the chorus with the crazy reverb delays and stuff. That could have been the final track, or if it would have been nice to have like just him and a guitar, acoustic guitar or something, a ballad at the end. I'm glad they didn't put I think was it Round and Round October, I think was the acoustic. Yeah, I'm glad this song wasn't at the end. It's in the middle of the album. And I'm glad it was there. It was nice. It was needed. It kind of separated that from like the experimental side of the album, which is something that they have been doing. And I mentioned they have done in the past, where all of a sudden in the middle of the album it will break down into like jazz or bluesy, not bluesy so much, but jazz type of thing, or just 3 or 4 really different sounding songs in a row. And I love those sections of their album, but they always kind of come back to being more mooky songs, and then the end song is usually this big special thing. But on this album, we only really got one heavy song. There was heavy moments in a couple of songs at the beginning of the album, but really it was just the one heavy song, which I believe was track 3. And that was very stereotypically mook, which I enjoyed a lot. Track 5 was not my favorite with the distorted vocals, but that was also kind of, intense in a bit of a different way. But then once we got past track 8, it was kind of crazy. Track 9 was the aha sounding like 80s song, I think. Yeah. Loved that. I loved the one that faded out, which was, I think, 13. Oh, no, it was 12. I think that one actually might have been my favorite on the album, with the exception of the fact that it did fade out, so that kind of bumps it down quite a bit for me. But once you got past the middle of the album, it was kind of weird or experimental songs, one after another, all the way through. And particularly tracks 11 and 14 were weird, very weird, and very different from anything that I've heard them do before. And I appreciate them doing that, but personally, I didn't care for that as much. I do enjoy sort of like the classic blues rock sound, but I don't think that the way they did it was kind of weird. And I mean, I really do appreciate them doing it and doing something different at this point in their career. You know, you could make, if you made an album, a compilation of like just the weirdest songs Mook has ever done, it would sound like vastly different bands every time. And that's kind of one of the things I love about Mook the most, is that they can do anything from song to song. You have no clue what you're going to get. However, you could tell while we were listening through that, there were multiple times where I kind of called my shot, where I was like, okay, here, they're going to go into this, then they're going to do this, then they're going to do this. And almost every time they did exactly what I thought they were going to do. And that's because they do have a bit of a Mook formula, and I love that formula. And so when they do those more stereotypical songs on an album like this that is almost vastly, like wholly experimental, the special songs are the ones that feel like they could have been on some of their previous albums. But Mook has always done a huge variety of things on their music. Now, again, I haven't heard probably their first 4 albums, so I don't even know what those first 2 albums sound like at all. And I said I've been holding off on it to listen to it before, just in case anyone wants me to do a reaction to them. I think it would be so fun to do a reaction where we listen to the original recording and then the modern recording of the song. I think that would be just so fun from a production standpoint. And we could listen to the original, then the remaster of that, and then the remake, the re-recorded version as well. But so I don't know what that kind of stuff sounds like. And I do know that on like the Kuchiki no Tao and then Gokusai to an extent, and then I think the 2 albums before that, which is the one with the blue one and then the white one with the bird, I believe. I think that those albums aren't going to be my favorites in their catalog once I kind of go back and explore some of their other older stuff that I haven't heard. I think that they're a little bit more sort of 90s-ish sounding. I know they're not from the 90s, but a little bit more generic-y sounding to me. However, I know there will be special songs on the albums that do stand out, and those are the ones that I'll be looking for. And who knows, maybe one of those albums will surprise the crap out of me and I'll really enjoy it, like I enjoyed their album 6. Which is kind of different amongst all of that stuff. But I really just think this band is really being really creative right now. And the fact that in recent years, they did go back and re-record some of their earlier stuff. And then they re-recorded some of their songs for Timeless. And some of those songs are heavier. So maybe they didn't feel the need to be as heavy on this album or New World, because that was right around the time they were doing those re-recordings. So maybe we're getting all this stuff out. I would really like a return to the heaviness on their next album, but I don't know. You know, I think Aku is maybe their heaviest album, and I wish it was mixed a little better, like I said, but that's maybe my favorite album of theirs, all total. I do think Kaiutai is just amazing all the way through, so it's kind of tough for me to even say. And Miyaku Haku is so good too. But they just have so many good songs and so many great albums. And I think that the drums on this album were really good. The first few songs I was a little worried because the drums did sound a little different, and then they sounded way better the rest of the album after the first 2 tracks. They used, electronic drums, it sounded like, on some of the songs. Some of the songs had very dry drums, which was really different sounding. The vocals sounded fantastic across the whole album. Track 5 is a little bit different with all the distorted vocals, but on some of their previous albums, they do that. Occasionally, after a few normal songs, they'll have a really different sounding song with crazy different vocals. I feel like some of the earlier songs Mia sang, I hope I'm saying that right, by the way, or any of this stuff. I don't speak Japanese, so I don't know what any of the words were in any of the songs, but it's not that important to me. I just enjoy listening to the vocals as another instrument, and I just love the way they sound, like I've said. But Mia sang a lot of backing vocals on this album. I really enjoy that. The guitar playing was very unique across the whole thing, like it always is. Mia is one of my favorite guitar players. I think he is really interesting in the same way that Graham Coxon from Blur is interesting, is that when you listen to the songs just kind of half-heartedly, it's like, oh yeah, that's cool. There's filling the space with the guitars and synths and piano and everything. But when you really listen to what the guitars are playing, it's so much more complex and rhythmic than you think it is. And I really feel like he is such a great guitar player. And I've said forever that he's one of my favorites. And that holds true here on this album, almost maybe more than any of the other albums, because there's so many different things that he's doing that they're trying as a band that are so different. Lots of solos the second half of the album, like every song had a solo. I think the solos were unique and different. Some of them were a little stereotypical, but they were in the more stereotypical feeling songs, and that's what you want when you hear that. That October song, when you hear a song like that, you want it to do specific things so that it feels familiar and it fulfills that sort of part of what you're looking for. But if you just do random wacky things, which is what I feel a lot of Japanese metal is, just like randomness for the sake of randomness, that's what I've always loved about mook, is their ability to do anything, but it makes sense contextually within the song. Maybe not on the album itself, but within every song, it makes sense contextually. And there are so many Japanese bands that I think I could love, but that are just so random sounding within songs. Like it can go from this to this to this within songs. And I feel like Maximum the Hormone is, like, in my opinion, they've released like two of the greatest albums of all time with Buula Kasai and Yoshu Fukushu. And I think that those albums are both literally perfect from front to back. I think they're literally just the two of the best albums of all time. I don't think mook will ever touch that in terms of like just being that fantastic, but mook has such a huge catalog with such a breadth of music. But Maximum the Hormone can do different things within their songs, but it somehow, to me, it does feel cohesive. You know, they can do dancey parts and they can do different things, but their music is very sporadic just by its very nature anyway. And I think they do it the right way. But there are a lot of Japanese bands that I listen to or try to listen to that there's just things about them that I just can't, that they don't allow me to enjoy it as much. You know, I've tried to get into Duran Gray a little bit more, and I do feel like if I listened to more of their stuff and found the right album, I could really enjoy them. And I do think there are things about them that I like a lot. But then bands like Baby Metal and maybe stuff like that's a little bit more manufactured, but still fantastic playing and everything. It's just almost a little too much for me. It's too much. And, you know, which it's really it's just interesting to think about it all to total. It doesn't really matter in the context of this. Mook is the way Mook is, and that's why I love them so much. And again, I just feel so privileged to be able to sit here and listen to this. I don't know if this album is as good as what I think is going to be my number 1 or number 2 album this year so far. It's going to be on the list, and I would be shocked if it's not top 5. There are still a few things coming out, and I just had a pretty, not a big, but I just had a little bit of a disappointment with the new White Lies album. I was thinking that album and this album would be fighting over number 1 position, and that album was so different from what I expected it to be. It's not bad by any means. It's just very different than what I expected it to be. And so that album will maybe end up on my list, maybe not, I don't know. I've also been trying to find some progressive metal bands this year, and I found 2 that are really interesting that use lots of electronics. And so I'm kind of trying to listen to those albums a little bit more. The new Lunatic Soul album just came out from the guy from Riverside, his solo album. We've got some new things still coming out that I'm looking forward to in December, and they may be coming out after we do our lists. And for me, every year, once we do our list, the list is cemented in time forever, and I will never amend it. I can still obviously enjoy music that came out after that, later in December, but my list is the way that it is, and it stays that way. I don't amend it in years in like later on. I just always include those songs or albums that I absolutely love that I either didn't discover in the year it came out, I discover it in years later, like the following year or something. I'll add that to my list, because there have definitely been albums that didn't make it on my list that, had I known about them in the year that they came out, I would have included them on my list, possibly even at the number 1 spot a couple of times. And for this, the one I'm talking about now, I'm thinking about my top 12 albums of the decade from 2010 to 2020 when I did that. And you can check out those videos if you want to see how I did that. I have literal videos explaining how I did it. But anyway, that'll be a fun video to do at the end of this year. So I won't make this video any longer. Thank you very much. It's actually shorter than I was anticipating it being, showing everything. And right now at about 2 hours and 5 minutes. So I'm going to send you off now to the part of the video where I did go through that entire box and look through the most amazing things that I now own. And so if you want to check that out, that's fine. If not, thank you very much for being here. Thank you, everybody. If you are listening to this reaction and you're from Japan, let me know in the comments, because I would love to know if there are people listening, Japanese people listening, because I would love for people to recommend other bands to me that are maybe sort of similar to Mook. I have looked and looked and looked and looked. I know about the sort of visual kai, I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it, genre. I have looked into different bands that people have recommended online. I've searched through Reddit threads, but I would love to know what bands people think I should get into. On Surugaya, I have been looking at different things, and sometimes when you type in mook or whatever, bands are recommended. And one of the bands that has been recommended to me a bunch on there is that I've discovered that I don't think is that bad. There's a couple things. One is a guy named, I think, Goro or something like that, but he's like sort of a pop star kind of solo guy, but he makes pretty heavy stuff. And I want to check out whenever he has a new album coming out. Is it called Goro? Let me look. Oh, I don't think that's right. Shoot, I'm not going to be able to remember who he was. I know I have one of his albums saved way far down. But then also the band Man with a Mission. And I think that I would enjoy that band. That's the band with the like dog face masks. But they have a lot of albums. And so I don't really know where to start with that. But if anyone, did they have a new album just come out this year? They did. Oh, unless it's like oh no, it's like a double disc thing full of all this stuff. I'm not sure what that is. Oh, that's a bunch of different people together. 41 songs, an hour and 20 minutes. I don't know what that is. All the songs are like less than a minute, so I'm just going to forget that. But it looks like they hadn't, their last full album was Break the Cross and Walls 2 from 2022. So, but if anybody knows of one of their albums I should check out, let me know. And just recommend things to me. You obviously don't have to be Japanese to do that, but I would love to know what Japanese people think of, their own music and what I should check out. Even if it's like not a super popular band or anything, sometimes it can be hard to search for things online that's not in English, because all the internet that I use is all English stuff. So it's very hard sometimes to find certain things. But please let me know and recommend stuff. I would love to check out stuff. I'll try to respond to comments that recommend things and let you know whether I've come across that band before or whether or not I should, I'll look into them and let you know what I think. I would really appreciate that. So thank you all so much for being here with me. I hope you can tell how special this reaction was to me. I'm very relieved that the album didn't suck for whatever reason. A lot of bands have done that to me in the past that I've really cherished, and they released an album that was just kind of... So, very happy this album sounded good. I'm going to send you off now to the other part of the video. Like I said, check that out. There's some really cool stuff in there. Okay, everybody, I really hope that I enjoyed the album and liked it a lot, because now it is time for me to record the actual... I guess I could call it an unboxing. I may upload this as a separate video as well. So, as I mentioned earlier, I got all this awesome stuff. And so this is the stack of CDs, again, that I managed to find. Not this one, that's just an extra Japanese thing. This is the stack of CDs that I managed to buy before I discovered Surugaya. And their most recent album that I bought is Miyaku Haku, and this is from 2017. I did not think I would ever be able to afford or purchase any of their other music. You never see it for sale for cheap. If you go look on eBay right now, you can find some of their CDs for maybe between $15 and $30, and almost all of those are singles. In Japan, they release singles a lot, and Mook has maybe like 100 CD singles that they've released over the years, and I am not interested in those. If I could just get all of them, it would be amazing and have all of them, but I don't need the singles. I have the full albums. So I do believe at this point right now, I own every one of Mook's albums, with the exception of 1997 and Timeless. I haven't ordered Timeless yet, and I don't know if I will. But I have all of their albums on CD format, and it's absolutely incredible. I know I tried to say at the beginning of the video, before, how incredible this is. But I'm going to go through this box here. And I want to show you guys what I managed to find. Yeah, let's just do this. Okay, so one of the coolest things is MUCC Live Chronicle 1. Okay, so you can see this comes in a sweet coffin-shaped box. They absolutely, this is a bit of like sticker stuff back here on the back. So it is a little damaged. Maybe that's one of the reasons it was so cheap. But, oh, there's a character on the back there, huh? Interesting. So I will show you just the inside of some of these. I know I said I wasn't going to go through everything, but I will show you the inside of some of these just to show what it is. I also do have my overhead camera here for this as well. But I'm not sure if the overhead camera is actually any better than this. So I did have that hooked up, but whatever. So here we have this booklet. It's a book, and it's got the live DVDs in them. And then it's got, oh, that's right, yes. It's got MUCC Live Chronicle with lots of live pictures, and then something they do in all these live chronicles, which I do not have all the live chronicles. It has their stage setup that they had for the different shows that are featured on these DVDs. And it's sort of like a blueprint. I'm not going to do this for everyone, but it's sort of like a blueprint, right, on blueprint paper. It's very neat. It's got pictures, it's got set lists, it's got all sorts of fun things. And this is again, Live Chronicle 1. Let's see, is that all that's in here? No. We open it, and in here, there is a guitar pick or bass pick. Yeah, here's some bass picks. MUCC bass picks. And this is used when I bought it. So not everything was guaranteed to be in here. But one thing I have learned about buying stuff, used things from Japan, is that Japanese people from what I've gathered, take very good care of everything. And so then this would be passes, like faux passes to their shows that are featured on this DVD set. And one thing that MUCC did then throughout their career was that was Live Chronicle 1. They had Live Chronicle, 2, 3, and I believe they're on 4 now, which that one's very expensive. The newer things are on Surugaya, the more expensive they are, which makes sense, and that's why I'm a little fearful that I'll ever be able to afford a copy of 1997. But depending on how much I enjoy the album, I will, try to make it a priority if I love it. So that's Live Chronicle 1. I have to be careful with all this stuff. Here is, I think this is Live Chronicle 2. It's an awesome box, you can see here. This was the first sort of big thing that I ordered from them, and I thought this was just the size of a DVD. So this was, I think, like $6.20 or something like that. And it's absolutely incredible. I'm not going to show you, again, everything, but this one comes with this giant, enormous book that does have pictures of the band. That's a insert type of thing. Giant pictures of the band, their stage shows again. The whole book is absolutely incredible. And I have spent time going through all of this at least once, but I haven't gone through it a ton. So I've been saving it so that when I want to, I can go through again. So now here we have, this is what was on the outside. We have bass picks and guitar picks. We have the 2 DVDs. We have the 2 passes. And that's everything that's in here. So, and again, this was used. And it says on Surugaya that not everything is guaranteed to be in the box. But I've never ordered anything from them that was really missing anything. So that's MUCC Live Chronicle 2. And then I got, and I can't believe this, and I'm not going to open this one, This is MUCC Live Chronicle 3. Now, this is, of all the things that I got, this is the only thing that is sort of, was a little bit damaged, I guess. And this is absolutely incredible. This box, like, unfolds like this amazing thing. Inside there is a lot of the same stuff that was in the other sets. Picks, the DVDs, all that stuff. And the only thing is, with this, you can kind of see on this side, it's really hard to tell, but this is sort of like a yellowish reddish tint. Actually, you can see up here. So this corner right here, this is the color everything this whole box is supposed to be, but I think it sat in the sun long enough that it got the color sucked out of it. So this is kind of a turquoise box when it's supposed to be the same color as the album that it accompanied, which is my second favorite MUCC album, Kaiutai, right? So it's supposed to be like this color, but it's actually like turquoise-ish. You can see down here, like I said, that's the same color as this. The whole box is supposed to be that color. And for as cheap as this was, which I think it was like $18 or something, I'm not too mad about that at all. Actually, I'm not mad about it at all. I think I'm very privileged to own this stuff. Then we have, let's see, this, let's go through the DVDs next. Here is my stack of MUCC DVDs that I now own. And a couple of them are Blu-rays. So, I'm just going to go through them. Some of these are pretty new, and some of these are older. Like here, this is a fight against COVID. Some of these are, like I said, they're older and newer. How does that work? Oh, I see. You take this out. Hold on. There you go. This is a double disc. I bought this on accident, actually, because it's really hard to tell sometimes what some of this stuff is because it's not listed in English. And if I look it up on Discogs, which Discogs changed their app and they suck now. If I look it up on Discogs, it's very hard to tell what anything actually is. But this is actually a double disc set of MUCC and then a band called Aki. And I thought it said Aku, being for Aku, one of my favorite albums of theirs. But it doesn't matter. It's not. It is still very interesting though, and I haven't watched it or anything yet. I've only watched a couple of these. I've been trying to not consume too much of this stuff in a row. Here, I'll save that one for last. Here's MUCC Live Chronicle 3. This is the same DVD that's in that sphere, but just in a regular box. And so that sphere comes with an extra DVD. Yeah, so this is basically the same thing in that DVD without the picks and the special box. But I got this for $4.40, so I thought it was worth it to get that. I am a little addicted to this stuff, I will totally admit. This is really awesome. 6ix9ine Wars, The End. This is an awesome set here that has 2 DVDs in it of 2 live shows. It's just very neat. And then here is World Tour, Nippon Budokan, 666. And then finally for DVDs, I think that's the final DVD, we have their Blu-ray of their live show that came with their album, Kuowata or whatever, something piano, Living Dead. This is the live DVD when they performed with, I believe, an orchestra on it. And I have not watched this yet. This is something I'm saving for one of the reactions I might do on the channel. So there's all of the DVDs. Again, this stack in my hands is worth probably like $300 or more in the United States. Maybe in Japan this stuff is like super easy to find, but I highly doubt it. I highly, highly doubt it. So then here's a really interesting thing. This is something that's from pretty early in their career. This is a EP that they released with 7 songs, I believe, and it may come with a DVD too. I'm not too sure. But this is a puzzle. This is a mook puzzle. And then it comes with, it's a 108-piece puzzle, and then it comes with the CD. And the CD is, I believe, songs that weren't featured on anything else. So I actually have the CD of this now, which is really awesome. It comes with some cards and some different things also underneath here. Got the different tracks and everything listed. It's got some different things in there. Oh, cool. I just thought that was the bottom of the box. Maybe it is supposed to just be the bottom of the box. Or maybe the back of the box. That was maybe was glued on there or attached to it. So, this is from 2002. MUCC started, I believe, in 1997. So that is just like one of the absolute coolest things. This is something I got on the last order that I ordered for MUCC. So, something that I found and didn't know what it was. Again, you're searching through it. It's square. You have no idea it's this, that it's a puzzle or anything. So, absolutely crazy. I hope everybody's still with me. So then we have the CDs that I did not have from their catalog and just around. So here is all of these CDs that I purchased. If you're watching this video and you're from the United States and you love MUCC and you're like, this SOB has all this amazing stuff, then I would encourage you to head to Surugaya and check it out. But I wasn't going to tell anybody the website because there's still things on there that I don't have that I would love to have, and I don't want people to discover this, but it's out there on the internet. Everyone can search and look. So let's see, what do we got here? What's some of the interesting stuff? I think I'm missing one. 'Twas in the box. Okay, so that at least tells you that I know what I'm talking about here. Okay, so I have, to complete out the actual albums in their catalog, I have whatever this one's called. It's really hard for me to remember the names of these things, but this is one of them from 2005, it looks like, 2004. So there's this one. And then this one as well, which is, I think, from around the same time, either before or after that last one. Oh, this is a live. This is a live DVD. This is a live DVD to accompany that previous one, I believe. So I believe that is a DVD. Then we have, again, to fill out their catalog, we have, here's an EP of theirs called Psychedelic, is it an EP? This actually might be a live one too. Psychedelic Analysis. I think it might be a live one. This might just be a live CD. I'm not quite sure. I could, I knew what all this stuff was when I bought it, or at least I tried to. So I think that might be a live DVD or CD. So then I bought, and I did not think I would ever own these. I am again, all this stuff I feel so privileged to have, but these in particular. So I have MUCC's very first 2 albums. This is their first album, and it is I think the third pressing. The first pressing of this, this is the third pressing it's remastered. They released their very first album, and then right away they were picked up by a record label or something, and they remastered the album and maybe put a bonus song on it or something. I can't remember exactly, but that's this. This is the released, repressed version. Copies on Surugaya, the first pressing of this, are a little bit more expensive, and I don't think there's really any need to own that. But if anybody out there does know the difference between the very first pressing release of this and this release, let me know if it'd be worth looking for that in the future, but I don't know, I doubt it. And then here's their second album, which I actually think may be some of the coolest album artwork I've ever seen. I wanted you to try to see if you can tell. Yes, there's indentations on here. It's like 3D. It's embossed, or whatever the other version for embossed is, the one that sticks out. It's absolutely incredible, and it goes along the whole back. So the spiderweb part is embossed, and some of it, some of her hair, everything is her face. It's also embossed on the inside here, this picture. I think this is like the coolest. The disc is fantastic. I just think it's absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. And the booklet for this is amazing. What else is in here? There's a booklet. Oh, there's a bonus. Huh. There's some kind of bonus CD. I don't even know what that is. But there's a CD in there. So, you know, whatever. It is whatever it is. And I absolutely adore it. I think it's fantastic, right? So there's their first 2 albums. Then I have the re-recorded, remastered, re-releases of these that they did recently with the lenticular lens, photo lens, or thing on the front, the actual album. So these albums are these remastered, the entirety of the album remastered, and then also re-recorded. I believe they did these around COVID time. They had some time around COVID time. So, absolutely incredible. I never thought that I would own any of this, but those specifically I really wanted. I have not listened to those yet. I've been saving them to see if it would be worth watching on the channel. So if anybody here wants me to react to those, let me know. So here's a sort of a B-sides and rarities thing that they released at some point. I think it was for a show or something that they did. This is Worst of Mook. And then I do have Best of Mook over here, but this is the Worst of Mook that came with it. Really fun, interesting compilation. Then I have the 2 coupling discs, coupling Best, and then I believe this is coupling Worst. I think I'm not quite sure, but these are the 2 coupling ones, and one of these is in a thick CD case, which is really crazy. This one's thick. I own 2 CDs like this, and they're both MUCC CDs, which is crazy. That is this size. But I have coupling Best and coupling, I think, Worst. I'm not sure exactly what this one's called. But what these are, it's all the singles from those singles that I was talking about, the bonus songs from the singles. And it's really cool because you can go through and look, and it shows you what the singles are from. There's a really big book, thick book in here that has these, like, it doesn't even have a book. It has these really cool, I shouldn't do this and show you this, it takes too much time. But it's this book that it's like the CD booklet that then has, here's the CD booklet, but you open it, and then inside the booklet is all of the artwork for all of the singles that they released over a certain period of time in their career. And so it's all of them. It's really cool. It's just absolutely the most badass thing in the world. And it's got, on the backs, it has the lyrics of the song, and it has what single it's from. So it's all very well organized, as you can tell all of this stuff is. Let's see if I can get this back in here. That fits there. That fits there. Look at how beautiful everything works together. And I always put these in there as well. So I've got everything that came with the package, plus the Surugaya sticker on some of them. Some of them I did take the Surugaya sticker off of. So that's what both of these are. I think this one is from more recently in their career, and that's from the earlier part of their career. I have their Trendy Paradise from 1997. The deluxe edition of this. That is the CD and then the DVD that accompanies it. Very cool. I have Mook's deluxe edition of This Is Not Greatest Hits that has a sweet sort of lenticular thing in there. And then I have the, I guess I forgot to show those. Then I have the Tribute of Mook. This is the omnibus That's a double disc set of one disc is Mook doing covers of other band songs, and then each of those bands picking one of Mook's songs to do a cover of. So this is really just badass. A vast majority of this stuff I have not listened to or enjoyed yet, but I will. So now I have these three, which are the three newer albums of theirs I do not have. Here's New World, and this is the deluxe edition that comes with a Blu-ray. So the Blu-ray's in there. There's the Blu-ray. There's the regular disc. Then I have two CDs that, I didn't think I would ever get. This is Kua, let's see, does it say on it? Kua, I don't know how to pronounce it. The Piano the Living Dead album. And this I ordered it used, but it's a brand new, never opened copy. So I'm hesitant to open this, but when I'm ready to listen to it, I will open it. This is the one thing I'm most excited to listen to. And then I have something I looked for years. Have been looking for 5 years. This is Aku, my favorite, one of my favorite Mook albums. I guess I don't know if I can say it's my favorite, but this is actually Aku, and it's the deluxe edition that comes with the DVD. And again, feel very privileged to own this and to own all of this stuff. And so hopefully I enjoyed the reaction. Like I said, I know I've said that now several times. Oh, I forgot. I have something else to show you. This is Mook's Coupling Best of Mook 2 and Coupling Best 2, plus the disc of remixes. This is a deluxe package of it's just incredible, just absolutely incredible. And then it's got a nice book in here of the different singles and everything that it explains what came from where and what it is and their whole discography and everything. And so cool, so cool, so cool. And the remixes. Remix of Mook, I'm excited to hear that eventually, someday when I get to it. This was one of the tougher things to find that cost me a little bit more. I think this one was maybe $17, maybe. But again, go look it up on eBay, see how much it is. And then, I forgot about this too. I also have the most recent album by Tatsuro, the singer for Mook. His album that came out last year called Colors. I have that CD, which this actually just by itself cost me, I think, like $8 maybe. I'm not quite sure. But it was expensive for just being a regular single disc edition CD. However, when I bought that, I also bought his two previous solo albums, the deluxe editions that come with a bonus acoustic disc and these awesome packages that are absolutely insane. I mean, this is almost the size of a vinyl, almost. But like these, I didn't think they were new at all. And so now I'm really hesitant and scared to open them. But I think I will. You know, I have this whole collection. I'm not going to sully it by not opening this. But this is just so cool. You know, when these first came out, I saw pictures of this. And I wanted it real bad because it came with the bonus acoustic disc. And I couldn't find the acoustic disc anywhere to hear online. And so I was looking this up when it came out a couple years ago. And I really wanted them real bad. And then when I bought them, I got it. I had no idea that this was this size. I thought it was the size of a CD. But it's these two enormous things. How incredible. And so it's all very overwhelming. It's overwhelming to me that I have these things. And if anyone's still watching the video, hopefully you can tell how just absolutely flippin' over the moon excited I am about this stuff. Because it's absolutely incredible that I own these. and that there's so much that I have to look forward to that I've never heard, that I now own, of my favorite band, one of my favorite bands. And when I got back from the hospital, I would sit and look at this box, and I would take everything out individually, and I would look at it, and I just was so happy to have it. Just so happy. And so, yeah. Again, I really hope I enjoy this album. I'm going to go listen to it right now. But you've already probably seen that part of the video, so I really hope that I loved it and that I'm over the moon about it and that it maybe is my #1 album of the year. But even if not, this band is so special. They're so amazing, and I just feel so privileged to have been able to find all of this stuff and not spend arms and legs on it. You know, I don't have the money to spend on very expensive things, and to find all this stuff. And Mook is not the only band that I started buying stuff from their catalog. I have also bought a few other things off of Surugia, but that can be saved for another time. So thank you everybody so much for watching this video. Thank you for watching this extra part here. I love you all. I'll see you all next time.